Hey. What is up? Don't ask me. Don't even ask why I streamed at midnight tonight. No idea. I just had the urge to I don't know, I guess because so much has happened so far and I kind of didn't want to wait till tomorrow to kind of talk about, obviously everything that's been going on, the Jalen Hurts contract, the other signing that we had today at wide receiver, which I think is pretty amazing, pretty cool. Alamod ZACCHAEUS is really interesting. The Jordan Mailata restructure, a lot of stuff going on with that. I want to kind of get your take on it and see what you guys think about it. I don't know how long I'm going to run this stream. I don't really, I mean, there could be two people in here at this point. It doesn't matter. Like, I just wanted to kind of run something tonight for all the people that are up late. Maybe not. I used to stream like this all the time. So we have a week and a half left until the draft. Like, next week is it. That's it. And on top of all the moves we made so far, I'm pretty interested to see what happens here. So we'll see. But I appreciate everybody showing up and supporting. What's going on, Smitty Eagle? What's going on, dude? We got Gravy in the building. What's going on? We got Myram. What's going on, dude? Myram says Kalijah Cansey at 10, Gibbs at 30. Gravy says way too high for Cansey. Yeah, the Cansey news is interesting too. He hasn't went on a pre-draft visit yet. He will not be going on any pre-draft visits, which is kind of insane. I guess maybe there's some type of promise he's going top 10. I mean, our top 15 at least. I mean, I'd say top 15, right? Cansey has not had one pre-draft visit. Has had absolutely nothing. So, what's going on? Somebody says draft 5. Hell yeah, dude. Yo, you want to go add a receiver like that today? You got one more thing to add to this offense, and that's a 3-down running back that's going to do a nice rotation this year. I think it's pretty cool. Eagles place. What's going on, dude? Appreciate it, man. Whoever got the hats, man, they should be shipped out. They should be already shipped already for all the people that ordered. This is a limited edition hat. This is limited edition. So, and then we'll find out, obviously, after the draft, if things get more serious, then we might have another one coming out. So, we got Devin White. What's going on, dude? Says Cansey hasn't been hosted for a visit. No, it's kind of alarming a little bit. I can understand. Maybe, I don't know. I could see, with Jalen Carter not seeing teams out of the top 10. Like, I outside the top 10, I totally get that, But this is a little more interesting. A little bit more interesting. So, I don't know what's going to happen, but, I mean, there must be some type of promise that he's going to get drafted or something, because why would he not put himself out there for teams to go get him? You know what I mean? That's what I kind of don't get. We'll see. We got Eagles Peace with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Did not say anything, but I appreciate it so much, dude. Appreciate it so much. Andy says, yo, Joey, can't wait for the draft. Defensive tackle, defensive end with 10. Trade up from 31 to 15 to 17. Using our second rounder and take Bijan, then trade for Buddha for the next 2 years. Go Howie. Yeah, I'm afraid I don't like. Look, that would be pretty cool if they could trade up from the first round pick. I would really enjoy that. The problem I have is will he be gone by 13, 14? Like the Patriots is probably a team I'm looking for Bijan to probably go to. I think you have to treat that 10th overall as luxury down, obviously from the start. I think that's what you got to treat it as. If that's how they're really treating it, because Jalen, you have to move up for Jalen Carter. You have to move up for Will Anderson. And really at the end of the day, like, are they going to take an offensive lineman at 10? With Skoronski or, Paris Johnson's another guy that they really like a lot. I don't think you have to be at 10 to grab those guys. I think you could still move back, but are you still moving back even if you're grabbing an offense? I wouldn't. I'd still move back for an offensive lineman. I'd still move back. Obviously, if it's, the things I don't want to happen early is Nolan Smith, Van Ness, shit like that. That's what I kind of do not want to happen. So Jade says, what up, Joey? Hope all's good with you, bro. I'm doing fine. I'm doing really good. Gravy says, I live in Austin, have run into Bijan twice. He's super down to earth. Yeah, dude, I think I think the one thing I've noticed about him is he carries himself off the field, like carries himself when he's off the field very well, and he's very respected, and it's cool. It's cool, man. Lucio says, if QB falls, y'all might trade back from 10. Bro, we ain't taking no quarterback. Are you kidding me? Did you hear the news? Greenblood says, the way things are going, I can see them taking Bijan now way more than before. Yeah, and I think, competition at wide receiver, I think is great. Even getting, Olamide ZACCHAEUS from the Falcons, which I didn't even know that he was even available. I thought he was still on the Falcons. Like I swear to God, I've looked at the wide receiver free agent list on out many times. I've never seen his name. And if I seen his name, I would have made a lot of videos on it, and I didn't, because I didn't see it. He's a deep threat. He's a bona fide burner. I mean, ran a 4.4 in the combine back in 2019, and I think he runs faster than that, just in my opinion. Undrafted 19, and really, he was a guy that really worked for it, man. Like really worked his tail off. Had his best season last year with the Falcons. I think he was averaging 14 yards of reception, over 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, his best year in a shitty offense, and not a great offense at all. Just imagine what he could do in the slot. I think his tracking of the football is really good. I mean, if Jalen Hurts extends plays, I think he's an incredible option. He's a pure slot guy, which I really do like. I think there's some good things pointing towards it, man. I think you add a Bijan to this offense. Oh God, I don't even know. Rest in peace to the rest of the NFL. I mean, you guys better be praying. These other fans better be praying for their teams of what's going to happen to them this season, because it's a tough schedule for the Eagles this year. But I'm glad it is tough. I'm glad it's a tougher schedule, a lot tougher. Obviously, you got to the Super Bowl, so you're going to have a really tough schedule. So, and what a great win that would be, like, to get into the season, you get a win on Thursday night against Kansas City in Kansas City, which would be great. That'd be awesome. Graves, the Eagles will trade for blank and extend them with our cap room. Yeah, dude, I've been thinking about, like, if there's a player they would really go after, man. Like, I think 2 players stand out only because they've been reported, and number 2, because they've really shown the most of having interest in coming to the Eagles, is really Devin White. Devin White from Tampa Bay, and the Budda Baker stuff is getting really interesting right now. Like what he said at the Super Bowl, to liking the coach, to congratulating Jalen Hurts, and Boston Scott, with a Howie Roseman picture tweeting at Budda Baker. It was funny, man. Like there's a lot of weird stuff going on with the Budda Baker situation. Budda Baker's cap hits for the next 2 seasons, this year and next year, $16 and $18 million. It's a lot. So he's making like 13, 14 million these next 2 seasons, this year and next year. So obviously, he's 27 years old. So he would be a major piece to add to the secondary. Oh yeah. I mean, you already got Terrell, and trust me, like I like Terrell Edmonds a lot. I think he's a really good stopgap player. I think there's questionable things with his coverage, but I think having 2 outside corners that are used the right way, I think he's going to be very successful. He's only had 5 picks in 5 years, but you know what? I think he can get. I think he could do. I think he can get 5 picks in 1 year because I think he is a ball hawk. I think he will do overly well than what a lot of people think, but we'll see. So he says, "Do you think we'll still have big move on the way? I got a feeling there will be." Yeah, I feel like I think Howie's going to work, the phones and see if he could trade for somebody. Like I think, I think there's a chance. I don't know who, but we'll see. We'll see. Devin White says, "I need a Devin White trade, guys." D-Bat says, "Yo, Shakes, just went to Coachella again. Did I miss anything except trade?" Yeah, no, nothing much, man. Nothing much. It's been kind of the same thing. Obviously, the Eagles go out and sign a receiver, a smaller receiver. So Alamide, I can't say his first name right. ZACCHAEUS from the Falcons. He's a little bit smaller than Quez. He's like 5'8". I think he's 5'8". Quez is 6 feet tall. Quez has played outside and inside, but you're getting a pure slot guy, a guy that's played nothing but slot. I think he played defense back in high school, like a long time ago. He played in high school. Never was an offensive guy in high school, but let's see here. Jacob says, "Joey, are you going live for the draft next?" Oh yeah, me and Philly 500 are drafting together, streaming from both channels for 3 days straight. We're doing the whole entire draft. It's every year we do it. So, Argrave says, "Osiris Torrance, best guard in the draft. Trade back from 10 and take him if you go the O-line route." Yeah, I mean, he would start. You would have to start him immediately. I mean, if you drafted him, you would have to start him immediately. So, we'll see. Dev said, "This might be the guy's chance for a long time. We have a chance at a top 10 talent. No way we trade back." Yeah, I wouldn't. If in their own minds they're not going the Bijan Robinson route, if they lose on Carter and Anderson, I feel like, yeah, if they don't want Bijan Robinson as the next best talent and they want to skip on him, and don't want to draft a running back that high, then I think they do trade back. I think that will be and get some mid-round picks. So we'll see. No, I meant another team wanting to trade. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Oh, 100%. There was like some mock trades for the Eagles. Like one was Tampa Bay at 19 would trade up for a quarterback, and give us an extra first round pick for next year. Like if I was offered a first round, if someone is aggressively trading up and they want a quarterback, if there is a team out there, like I know a lot of rumors about Will Levis. Like if Will Levis gets to 10 or something like that, and there's a team that wants to move up for a quarterback badly, oh yeah, I'm not trading that back unless they give us a first round pick. The only way I'm trading back 10 is if we're getting a first round pick for 2024. That's the only reason I'm doing it. Because at the end of the day, guys, 24's draft, you're going to have, if you're able to get that done, you're going to have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. I mean, the Eagles are going to be loaded. I mean, right now they're already loaded with draft picks, especially the 4 comp picks for 24. So they're loaded right now. And since we were kind of worried about the Jalen Hurts contract, what it was going to look like going into next year, they freed up $7 million for next year and the year after for Jordan Mailata. They already restructured his contract for the next 2 years, so he's restructured for $14 million. They freed up $14 million in 2 seasons, which is great. The Eagles are going to have some cap. The Eagles are on a low cap number this year with Hurts. They actually gave him a raise. I think that he's only a $6.5 million cap hit this year. That cap number for Hurts doesn't go past $30 million at all, which is amazing, which is fantastic, which is awesome. They're working that cap really well. So Johnson, great. Bill Belichick would draft Bijan. Doesn't care about positional value. James says good singing today. Dank says Bijan is in this offense would be nasty. Totally agree. After says with the Hurts contract, I can definitely see them getting Robinson or the best offensive lineman at pick 10. Yeah, I could see that too. As much as I'm not a big fan of getting offensive lineman at 10, if they did it, I wouldn't be happy about it, but I wouldn't be like against it in like a sort of way. I'd be very 50-50 on it because I understand why they're doing it. Look, if the Eagles have no faith in Cam Jurgens playing right guard, which we do not know that at all. Like if they have no faith in him playing right guard, because originally, guys, with Kelce didn't have that elbow or orthoscopic surgery in his elbow last year. Jurgens was supposed to play guard. He was supposed to cross-train at guard with Kelsey. Kelsey ended up getting that surgery, that minor surgery, and then he was stuck at center the whole entire offseason, last offseason. So I don't know how much faith the Eagles have in Cam Jurgens. If they don't, then I could see why. If they draft a guard at 10, I think they could still move back for a guard. I don't think they have to sit there at 10, and I think it's kind of overreaching a little bit, in my opinion. Osiris Torrance, I think you could still trade back. Skoronski, you could probably move back a few spots. I don't think I really don't think they have to get a offensive lineman at 10. That's just my opinion. Luffy says Budda Baker's cap it would only be $7 million next year if we trade for and extend him. Well, it depends how much money they're willing to give him and how much they're spreading out the money. It really just depends. But the cap hits are big because he's got 2 years left on his deal. Between, he has $16 million this year, $18 million next year, or like it was 17.5. So I'll just round it out to 18. Yeah, it wouldn't be horrible. I mean, that's like you make a move for Budda Baker. I mean, you put Budda Baker in there, you slide Edmonds around, and then you have, obviously Reed Blankenship as your third, and then have, Justin Evans, Kevon Wallace kind of compete because they brought Justin Evans as well. So that'd be pretty cool, I love you said Jalen Hurts is the highest paid QB and look at his cap. I know I'm shocked, man. $51 million. You know what I mean? Like he deserves every penny of it. You know what I mean? $51 million. I forgot what the cap hits were. I don't have them in front of me right now, but they were really low. Good. I mean, even for this year, even next year, it's only, I think next year it's not even like 15 million. I forgot what the cap hits are. If someone put the cap hits in the chat, I'd appreciate it. If anyone could just put the years and the cap hits in the chat, because I don't remember them off the top of my head. Logan says, hey, Joey, what up, bro? I have a feeling that Bijan will be an Eagle. I hope so, man. Eagles pieces, who you got? I got Bijan Robinson, man. I got Bijan Robinson, draft 5, bro. That's where I'm going. Obviously, if they go another direction, I won't care as much. Like, see, at the end of the day, like, me and Philly want to draft Bijan at 10. And if the Eagles don't, I'm not gonna be upset about it. Like, as long as he doesn't go to the Cowboys, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, this is just a guy that I really like. And if we don't get him, okay, life goes on. You know what I mean? That's just the way it goes. But Jason, the Eagles should grab Branch at safety out of Alabama kids and stuff. Yeah, that one I think that one would probably shock me the most. I think getting a receiver, obviously not anymore, because I don't think they want a receiver now. But originally, before we signed this receiver, I figured they were trying to get maybe their third option for Quez or compete against Quez or whatnot. But if they get a safety in the first round, yeah, I think it would be pretty astonishing. Honestly, I would love it. I don't think the Eagles have ever drafted a safety in the first round, if I can even remember. As long as I've been alive, I don't think they've even drafted one, unless I'm wrong. I don't think they have. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see. We got Greenblood with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, think about how Howie does things. He won't sign a big name player like Baker. He will find an underrated player after the cuts. Someone will excel with the Eagles program. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, we'll see. Like, I think one thing you look at is if they don't draft the safety this year early, right? They go for the guys that are undrafted to see maybe there's a guy back. Maybe there's a guy that went undrafted that a lot of people are not looking at too closely. That's another reason. And obviously the cuts in August are going to be really interesting too, because the Eagles got to drop the whole entire roster from 90 to 53 in one day. That's a new rule this year, guys. In August, the Eagles have to make all their cuts in one day. Now, there's pros and cons about that. The pros about it is, yeah, it's good because then other teams are making tough decisions. And if they let go of a player that did really well in the offseason and they feel like he has a future in Philadelphia, they can go grab him, give him as much money as possible. The bad thing about the cuts is you have to make these cuts in one day and make really tough decisions. So the coaches have to do this in one shot. And Howie, obviously. So that's a whole nother thing too. But yeah, I think the draft isn't the only thing to get ready for. Obviously, the offseason workouts, OTAs, training camp, joint practices, preseason games. Since you only have 2 preseason games now, but can go into that, that pool of players, guys that are on waivers, the waiver wire. That's going to be another interesting thing too. Post-June, post-June is another one, because there's going to be some guys that are going to be get traded, or are going to be up for trade at post-June. After June, by June 1st, we're going to find out if teams are trying to trade some players as well. So, either the Eagles really make a trade now during the draft and get something done while getting some draft picks, or they wait till June 1st to see who's really available. I think that'd be the cool thing too. So I think it's really interesting. I think it's very interesting. Good, it's a good one, Greenblood. Appreciate the super chat, by the way, too, man. Thank you so much. Lit says, "Sup, Joey? What's going on, Lit?" Dank says we can get a DT at 62. Yeah, we can. I don't see why not. Look, I feel like if they really want to de-tackle that badly, there's plenty of them out there. And look, I don't know if Kancey is going to move down in this draft, and if he does, great. If not, then I don't think he is. For some reason, you don't not have a pre-draft visit for a specific reason, unless he goes early, is like really early. If he goes top 10, which I doubt, but if he goes because you never know, like there might be a player that someone's going to really overreach for. And, I don't know. It's kind of questions me a little bit what they're doing. But we'll see. Graves says, you and 500 would have a legendary reaction. Oh, dude, let me tell you something. If the Philadelphia Eagles take Bijan at 10, we're going off. He might say that we're not going to go off, but we're going to go off. We're going to go off, and we're going to have some things to say if it happens. And if he doesn't get drafted here, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. Life goes on. I'm not going to cry about Bijan not being here. I know people are going to watch us because they want to see if we don't draft Bijan, people are going to think we're going to be that pissed off about it, which we're not going to. We have our player that we want, and if we don't get him, it's no big deal. I'd rather tell you guys who I want than kind of stay neutral the whole entire weeks to the draft and not pick a guy that I want, or just talk about the trend of what's going on. At least you know who my guy is at the end of the day. So we'll see. Kirk says, I hope they get Bijan at 10, O-lineman at 30. I can see that. Dolly Rodriguez says, how about moving back, draft Bijan, and then try to get Brian Burrell? Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either. So moving back to get Bijan, I wouldn't pass 14. I'd move back 2 to 3 spots, but that's it, though. I wouldn't move back past 14. I think that's going to be the big kick in the nuts. If they move back past 14, I think we're going to regret it. If they're going after Bijan, they can't move back past 14. So what's going on, Jordan? Johnson, Joey, I think we'll get Bijan Robinson. Haven't drafted a running back. Yeah, I don't care about the narratives. And I don't think Howie Roseman gives a crap about the narratives. Oh, the Eagles haven't drafted a running back since the 80s. People wanted Witherspoon. People wanted Gonzalez when Bradbury wasn't signed. If we were going to sign Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, we haven't drafted I could say, we haven't drafted a cornerback since the early 2000s. I could say the same shit about that too. You know what I mean? Who cares about the narratives, man? This is a different era in Philly because they have a quarterback right now that is going to literally explode on the league. This quarterback that we have that just signed his new deal. Okay. I never seen so much trust or non-worry in a quarterback from the front office, from Jeffrey Lurie. Jeffrey Lurie talked about this offense being the bread and butter of the season this year. And I'm telling you, don't be surprised if they take this route. And trust me, if they take Bijan, a lot of Eagles fans are going to be pissed off. But at the same time, once he starts playing, people are going to be like, oh, man, that's why they drafted him. I totally get it. Kirk said, there's a rumor that if Levis falls, the Bucs will trade the Eagles to give them 19th and 23, third round, 24. I don't. I would trade. I wouldn't do that because if you're not getting a first round pick in 24, I'm not doing it. Dude, if the Bucs are literally trying to get a quarterback and the Eagles know that they're going to get a quarterback, you're not trying to get a third round pick for next year. You're not just going to switch you're not going to switch picks, first round picks, and just get a third round pick for 24. I'm switching picks. This way we have 19 and 30, and then I'm getting that first round pick for 24. I'm taking their first rounder for 24. You have to charge them more. You can't be cheap with that. If they're going after a quarterback, you're charging them more for moving up to get a quarterback. The Eagles will know. They're not going to be stupid. They're going to know what they're going to know what they want. It's like, dude, are you guys taking a quarterback? Like, it's going to cost you a little bit more than the 3rd round pick for 24. So we'll see. Stony Hawk, what's going on, dude? Probably says, Joey, you listen to Lil Uzi? Not really, to be honest. I don't. Ryan says, I think there is something big coming. Pause, Ryan. God damn it, Ryan. Ryan's having a good night tonight. I don't know if you're drinking or whatever is going on, but something big is coming tonight. Pause. Torvald said, you know what is weird? Cansey hasn't had any visits with teams. He was willing to visit, but he didn't get invites. Yeah, I don't know. All I get, there's 2 things. One, actually probably just one thing, because I honestly don't know. One, I would have to say because he already knows, like, he already has a lot of interest, and I don't know. I guess he's going to get drafted top 15. I don't know. That's what it makes it sound like right now. That's what it makes it sound like right now. So we'll see. That's just Bijan's generation player. It must be an Eagles draft 5. Dude, as much his jump cut ability, him in the passing game, you can line him up wherever you're. I mean, it's just the tandem between Hurts and Bijan. God, he makes what it looks like it's going to be a 3-yard gain into a 30, 35-yard gain. It's the vision is legendary. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. So, Travis says, no, Bijan, we are a pass-first offense. We want wasting our 10th. Just wait and see. Hey, we'll see what happens, dude. Yeah, I understand. Yes, we are a pass-first offense. Yes, we do. Obviously, like, why is everybody so infatuated with getting lesser type backs for this team? Do you guys actually really trust our running back core right now? Because I really don't. I don't trust. Like, Scott is always here every single year on a $1 million to $2 million deal, and he plays kick return as well. Eagles didn't use him at running back a lot last year to the end of the season. Okay, you're really going to trust Rashad Penny staying healthy for 17 games? I don't. I mean, that's just me. That's just an opinion. That's all it is. And Kenneth Gainwell is obviously good, and the Eagles really like him, but I don't think the Eagles think he's like anything crazy amazing. Okay. I don't trust this running back, because then next year comes, right? 24 offseason, right? And then what? Then we're down to Gainwell again, all by himself. And his contract is dwindling down too. So the Eagles have no 4th round picks, 5th, 6th, none of that. So we'll see. SJ Scott says even more than AJ party time. AJ Scott says, why do you think Nick Sirianni winked to the fans in the first 76ers playoff game when we fans were chanting Bijan? Dude, I didn't see that, but that's pretty cool. I don't know, man. And here's another thing too. Not only that, but the Eagles brought Bijan in really early, pre-draft visit wise. Like, if Bijan was brought in like the week before the draft, okay. Bijan was brought in very, very, very early. He was like what, the 5th or 6th prospect. Okay, other than offensive line, because really, first round quality wise, they brought in like maybe 3 to 4 offensive linemen that are first round quality in those pre-draft visits. I take those pre-draft visits seriously at times. It just depends like when it happens, you know. Tomorrow Wick says we need a first round for next year, so we got 2 first, 2 seconds. Yeah, I mean, that'd be great. I mean, if there was a team that wanted to move up, and they gave us a first round pick, I'd probably take it. I'd skip on anything I said about I would have to take it, to be honest, because at the end of the day, like, it is what it is. Like, if the Eagles are using this running back core this year the way they want to use it, they got to really distribute the ball very well. They got to keep these guys healthy. Scott definitely has to play this year, all year. I think he gets used less of, but bringing Bijan in the room is going to give you 4 years. I don't care. Like, I don't care about another contract for Bijan. I'm literally, you're getting a superstar player for 4 years. I don't even care if they don't even re-sign him. Like, who's getting long-term deals as running backs besides Miles Sanders? Obviously, they got like $6 million a year. You know what I mean? Like, which was affordable. Okay, Why the Eagles put they tried getting Christian McCaffrey at the trade deadline. They tried drafting Christian McCaffrey at 14. They tried moving up to get him. They had a lot of interest in him. Why would they make those moves? I think the writing's been kind of on the wall if they wanted a guy like this. You know what I mean? I think they've been interested in a guy like this. Think about the running backs they've been interested in, like size-wise, 5'11", plus, 209, 210 pounds plus, Kennedy Brooks, Trey Sermon, they're just not good enough. They like those strong, elusive backs. They don't like those Miles Sanders backs. Obviously, Nick only used Miles Sanders because he was here. That's the only reason why. They didn't put Miles in the passing game. Doug was very good with Miles. I think Doug utilized Miles the best. And Nick didn't really utilize him. Took him out of the passing game. Took him out of, obviously, red zone. Danced way too much. He had drop issues. He had fumble issues. He had some issues along the way. Like, he had a 1,000-yard season last year. Good for him. Congratulations. But for the 4 years he's been a running back for us, he didn't really, obviously I don't blame him much. I don't blame him much in 2020 and 2021 with two different coaching staffs because they barely ran with him those 2 years. You know what I mean? So I get it. Their story says, Joey, late stream. Yeah, I decided to stream tonight. I felt like it because when you make videos, you just kind of want to talk to everybody about what's been going on, What players would shock me at 10? Nolan Smith, Van Ness, Cansey. Cansey doesn't shock me as much, but I think you could still move back and get him. I think you still trade back for a good amount of guys. Van Ness is like the one guy I do not want in the first round, at least. Like, I'm not looking for a guy that's a ceiling type player. I'm looking for a guy that's going to be a blue chip right now, ready to roll. Let's go get a Super Bowl. Let's go get a goddamn championship type player this year. That's what I'm getting. And even after Will Anderson, after Jalen Carter's not going to be around by 10, okay, even if that's, obviously, Will Anderson would be shocking because he would be at 10, and why the hell would he be at 10? There's ones that are obvious, but ones I would hate, yes, I would hate Van Ness. I would hate Nolan Smith at 10. It's way too of a reach, way too much. Richie says, corner. I know, but dude, like, so you draft a corner in the first round, then what do you do? You just sit him? That's what I'm saying. Guard, I can understand because they could put him. They could put him right in. They could plug him right in instantly. He'll be a starter this year if they don't have trust in Cam Jurgens. CD says, I like the first rounders to the last 6 years plus. Shabaka says, build, Philly, build. The Eagles will be the powerhouse of the NFL Super Bowl bound and bring that trophy home. Fly, Eagles, fly. I hope so, man. Hope so. Where you hide? What's going on, man? What's up, Joey? Where are you hiding, man? Do you want Buddha? Yeah, I would like him. It just depends on, is this a trade they're going to make during the draft? Is this a trade they're going to make, by June? Because obviously it would be a June 1st trade designation because they get $14 million in cap space. Yeah, I would absolutely love it. I hope they're looking at it. I mean, I'm seeing so much news, and Buddha's been like really giving the Eagles a lot of attention with the, talking about Sirianni at the Super Bowl. And then when Jalen Hurts got signed, he got a lot of respect from him, and Boston Scott tried recruiting him. So I don't know if Budda Baker knows anybody on this team that they played with or whatever. I'm not sure, but yeah, that'd be great. I wouldn't mind it if the price is right. Unfortunately, you have to trade for him. So depending on what they have to give up, if it's somewhat of it's a tough one because he's a good player. So they're probably not going to want nothing for him. They're going to want something nice. So I don't know. If he was a lot younger, if he was like 24, 25, I'd probably give up a higher pick. But he's 27 and he's still relatively young. But what are you giving up for him? That's kind of the big question. Bijan visited in March. Yeah, really early. Eagles Pizza, a couple years. Who you letting go, AJ or Smith? Oh, AJ Brown. Instantly. I'm getting rid of AJ Brown in a heartbeat. you signed Devontae Smith, dude. You signed Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith is just different. Okay, you could find a big physical receiver. Okay, those receivers, you could find a receiver like that. Devontae Smith is drafted in Philadelphia. The guys that are drafted in Philadelphia get their long-term extensions. Okay, when you're drafted here, like that's what I'm saying. There's more loyalty to guys that there's more loyalty to guys down the road. And I think AJ Brown is kind of has some loyalty too, because him and Jalen, who knows, maybe AJ Brown gets an extension, not a crazy one, but maybe he stays because, hey, I still want to play with Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is obviously something we can take advantage of because, they're good friends, and why wouldn't you want to play here? So I think there's a lot of good things to take out of it. Jordan Battle wouldn't be bad either. I wouldn't mind it. I would not mind it. Iron Mills says, Joey, my guy, running late, one tonight, so Quez stayed or traded. No, I think he stays. There's a lot of rumors right now. Well, not really rumors, but at least from fans are saying that maybe this means that Quez is going to get traded with that new receiver that we got. With ZACCHAEUS that's in here now. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think there's going to be a healthy competition for that wide receiver 3. And I want to see, maybe with ZACCHAEUS, maybe they put him on special teams. He could run. The guy could fly pretty nicely. You never know what they'll do. Maybe they want him as a special teamer plus a wide receiver 3 for this team. Double duty maybe. You never know. Travis, if you don't know how this offense works, just shut it. Dick Sirianni is a pass-first offense. Look it up. Yeah, I know. This Nick Sirianni said this. He said that the offense runs through A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert. I obviously know that, but that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that they don't like to run the ball either. It doesn't mean that they'll never draft a high running back just because they're a pass-first team. What's the difference between a running back getting drafted top 10 to a shitty team? That always happens. Bad offensive lines. You saw with Saquon Barkley, and only really had 2 good years last year and his rookie year. Okay. Top 10 teams don't have good offensive lines. Don't really have great teams in general. This is a different story because Howie Roseman's a genius. Okay. Howie Roseman has 2 first-round picks this year. When are you going to have the 10th overall pick to choose whoever you want in this draft as a really good talent? Okay. That you don't have to worry about it for the next 4 years. So pass first offense don't mean a damn thing. Doesn't mean anything. Simple as that. But the Eagles are the best team in the top 10. They're the best team. Reggie says, Bijan, older fans remember the Ricky Williams of Philly drama led by Angelo Cadell. Yeah, I don't think I was even, I was very small at that point. So obviously I didn't watch that. Obviously Philly, Philly 500, he's a lot older. He's a lot older than I am. So he's been around a lot longer than me. Seeing that. Well, says, sup, Joe, one more week, and we're good, man. We're good to go. Jordan says, prediction, trade down, still nab Bijan, get DL at 30. 2 picks in the second. Offensive line with 1 pick and trade back for Budda Baker with another pick. Yeah, I wouldn't. I like the sound of that. I would not mind that at all. I would have no issue with that whatsoever. If they were still able to get Bijan, trade back, get an extra second-round pick, I don't mind it. Obviously, our pick in the second round isn't great. It's like, 64, 62, whatever it is. So it's not a fantastic second-round pick, but I could deal with it, though. Mayor said, I want either Carter or Kalijah Kanis so we can replace Hargrave. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Look, I mean, this we don't know. Like, we obviously know, like, this could be a base 3-4 defense this year. It could be something what Gannon likes to do, disguising coverages. He likes, playing those, those few linebackers on the field. He likes those more coverage guys. Obviously, having Nicholas Morrow, Nakobe Dean at linebacker. To see what they do here. I don't know what they're going to do, but we'll see. We'll see. We haven't heard from him yet. I mean, we kind of know like what this defense is going to look like. But yeah, Hargrave was probably the biggest loss to our defense. But at the same time, like, this defensive coordinator needs to, no players are bailing this guy out. You're not going to have a loaded defense like you did last year with that much depth. Okay. this defensive coordinator, I think, did a good job with the Bears in 21 as a defensive coordinator. He was top 5 against the pass. He was only bottom 10 against the run, but he didn't really have a lot of good players, but still top 5 in sacks. He created ways to get pressure on quarterbacks as a coordinator in 21. A Vic Fangio disciple as a quality control guy for the defense under Fangio for a few years. So there's a lot of good things to take out of it. Obviously, bottom 10 against the run isn't a good thing, but like I said, didn't really have the right players. He did more with less talent. That's what I'm saying. Sean Desai did more with less, and that's a good thing. That means he's more of a creative defensive coordinator, more of a creative type of coach. You know what I mean? EC says Bijan not lasting past 13. Who has 12 and 13? I know the Titans have 11. Who has 12 and 13? No, dude, who says I hated Nolan Smith? I don't hate Nolan Smith, but I wouldn't take him at 10. I would take him late first. If it's 30, I'll take him at 30. I'm not taking him early. No. Unknown says, I say we get a day 1 starter that with number 10 pick, or else that'll be a waste. Yeah, I think you have to get a guy that doesn't have a high ceiling. I think you have to get a guy that literally is going to start day 1, okay? That is going to start day 1, and yeah, it is going to produce. Hit the like button for Bijan fans. Not just Bijan fans, everybody hit the like button. I'm not forcing Bijan Robinson down everyone's fucking throat. Like, I'm not trying to do that at all. Like, that's just the player that I want. Just like you guys have the players that you want. Like that's just the only difference. That's all. Raw Rap Video. So I can honestly say I trust our running back room to command the proper amount of respect from defense. We do need a guy that they have no choice but to account for. I wish I had as much trust as you in this running back core. I really wish I really wish I did, but I really don't. I wish I had more. Trust me, like I think if Rashad Penny didn't have so many injuries, obviously that's why we got him for nothing. We got him for $600K for the year, with obviously there's added incentives to that. We got him for that reason, because he's been hurt so much. He lasted 5 games last year. That's it. You know what I mean? You lose Gainwell, you're screwed. You use Rashad Penny, you're kind of screwed. You lose Boston Scott, not as screwed, but you're screwed for, I guess for special teams and having a smaller type back that could do a lot. So, it's kind of crazy. Ray Hines says, oh, Lord, you're giving up AJ? In a heartbeat. Yeah. If you had to choose one, why? Yeah, of course. Of course. Why wouldn't you keep Devontae Smith? Why would you sign A.J. Brown over Smith? Why would you not re-sign your homegrown talent? It's hard. It's obviously hard to for me, it's not hard to figure out. Maybe for fans it is. Why am I letting Devontae Smith walk? I think Devontae Smith brings a lot of different things to the table. I'm taking the homegrown talent in Philadelphia. Reggie says Devontae needs to catch balls clean. I can give evidence of at least 2 catches that can overturn because of double caught the ball, one in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I get it, dude. Like I totally get it. He's had some weird drops going down, and some of them did count during the season. He had a couple passes at all, but he still had a 1,000-yard season this year. Take a couple of those catches out, who cares? Like, that doesn't make him less of a talent. He's a beast. He's a monster. It's really all about how you use him the right way too, because he's just really skinny. He's got no lower body weight to him. Like, he's got quickness. You got to throw to him in open space. But I got to say, like, yeah, some of his contested catching wasn't that bad either this year. Yeah, he's had some, obviously some have flown our way, but it doesn't make him less of a talent because of that. Donick says, do you think a trade could happen with the Eagles did for AJ, but this time it's for Buddha? Yeah, I mean, it could happen. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be like the money we gave AJ Brown. It's going to be a lot less. Even Buddha Baker said that he's not looking to be the highest paid safety. Obviously, at $16 million a year, which the Eagles are definitely not going to go down that route. But Splendid64 says, would you take Osiris Torrance at guard from Florida at 30? I would do it. I wouldn't mind it. If it's at 30, I don't mind it. If he's there, I would do it. If the Eagles don't have any trust in Cam Jurgens playing guard, they'd redshirt him another year, have him play, obviously, field goal offensive line and some red zone stuff, then I'm fine with it. But you only have 2 years to see what Cam Jurgens will do. If Kelsey retires and Cam Jurgens goes at center, you better hope that he's going to play really well. I think he will. I think Cam Jurgens is going to be a really good player, but they redshirt him another year. You only have 2 years to really see what he could do as a pure starter. S.A. says, Nick's first year was saved by running. He was 1-4 before he realized. Well, yeah, because Nick called the plays the first half of the season. At least a quarter of the season, he called the plays and then gave most of the play calling to Shane Steichen, and it really did turn around. But we had a lot of other issues. The team was way too young. We didn't have enough. We didn't have some veteran. We didn't have a good amount of veteran talent. The talent, obviously, from 21 to 22, it's only night and day. So Dank says we're pass first, not pass only. Rad says he said 500 is a lot older than him. Well, a little bit, yeah. I think he's 40, 48, 49. So he's up. I'm not saying he's old, but he's older than me. He's been around a lot longer than me. He's seen more than I have. Bijan Mustard, definitely going to be a big sellout in Philadelphia. Texans 12, Jets 13. Interesting. Well, the Jets ain't taking a running back. That's for damn sure. The Texans, I'm not sure. Who do they have at running back? I don't even know who they have at running back right now. Do the Texans really have that much interest in a running back? I don't know, man. I think they want to get another defensive guy. I don't know who they're getting at 2, to be honest. I don't know if they're going quarterback. They might get Will Anderson. There's a big chance he might go there. Not sure, man. I think it's quarterback or Will Anderson at 2. So we'll see. Ron says, I'm stoked you're doing a late night stream, brother. Is there any news that Atlanta could take Bijan at 8? I don't know. I think they have so many. I mean, I know they've had a pretty good free agency this year, but I don't know. I don't know what they need. They have some veteran running backs in there right now, but maybe they want a guy for the future. I don't know. I'm not really sure. They might need another cornerback. They might need a defensive lineman. Really depends, man. Really depends. Kirk's unpopular opinion. We paid a little too much for Hurts. Yeah, no, we definitely deserved it. I mean, theoretically, dude, like he played like 2 years fully. Like 2020 didn't count for me because he got thrown in into 5 games in a mess. He got thrown into a mess. Mechanics weren't great in 20. Talent wasn't great around him in 2020. 21, 22. Yeah, it was a nice build-up. Pretty amazing, to be honest. Oh, yeah. AJ had some drops. AJ had some drops. And remember those 2 fumbles? That one I think the one in the Packers game that was scoop and fumble. Remember that? AJ had those 2 fumbles in those 2 games. That really pissed me off. That was really pissing me off with him. Greenblood says, take Bijan at 10. Hurts, Bijan, and the rest of the offense, it would be a complete nightmare for every team. Yeah, I'm telling you. I don't listen to the fans anymore. I don't listen to what I mean. I don't mind opinions, but like I just at the end of the day, like no one's gonna change my mind. It's and then like, if we don't pick them, I move on. Like that's it. That's all I do. Dre says, with you on that, Smitty is hands guy for sure, but I think he needs AJ and Goddard to be able to get the matchups that Smitty gets. Smith isn't a clear number one on number one corners. Well, I mean, yeah, it always helps to have a number one guy. We had Smith as a number one guy in 21, but unfortunately, we barely threw to him. I mean, yeah, he had 1,000 yards. We forced him to get 1,000 yards because they threw to him consistently in that last game we had against the Cowboys. But I don't necessarily think. I think you got two. I think Smith is better than a number two. I think if he's not as good as a number one, he's pretty much between. I think he's way too good, man. I mean, you obviously need like multiple guys. It hurts. Obviously, every quarterback in the league needs a good offensive coordinator. If they don't have one, it's not going to be successful. I don't care how much talent you have at whatever position it is, especially quarterback. Like if you don't have protection, you don't have a good offensive coordinator that fits the scheme of, you know, the skill set of what your quarterback could do. There's a lot. There's no receiver that could do it by himself. It's just, yeah, there is, but you don't have a quarterback that could do it. You don't have an offensive line that can get protection enough for these guys to run their routes. Like there's a lot that goes into, Smith just can't get it done against the number one corner. He can. I think he definitely can, but you know, he definitely everybody benefits from everybody else. Hurts benefits from everything around him. Hurts has a lot of talent on top of it, and he's worked on his mechanics the past 2 seasons like crazy, you know? But I'm not doubting anybody's what anybody could do. So it says Falcons might go Bijan Aguirre isn't going to sell jerseys, even though he did pretty well. Carter, I was thinking about Carter myself to the Falcons. Yeah, I think Carter to the Falcons could be pretty realistic. Jaden says, yeah, Texans aren't taking running back. They have Pierce. Oh, yeah, they traded for Singletary. I totally forgot. Or no, he was a free agent. Was Singletary a free agent? Or was that a trade? I forgot. Oh, yeah, then no. I totally forgot. If you told me that from the start, I would have already said that's not going to happen. That's definitely not going to happen. Kirk says, who the hell is stopping a developed Bijan with our O-line? I don't know. I mean, for a guy that get into the second level every single run, the amount of attention that he's going to get on top of everything around on the field, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of nuts. Thanks to Jalen got paid because he was the franchise quarterback, and you have to pay a franchise quarterback. Well, yes. Thanks is the funny thing of Jalen will have the same talent for the next 3 more years. Yeah, I think Smith and AJ Brown have another 2. Yeah, counting this year, 24 and 25. Yeah, I mean for the receivers at least. Yeah. Kirk says nothing wrong with it. Just saying, wasn't Hurts carrying on average team by any means. Logan says if Bijan drafted Dallas, that would be a night. Yeah, yeah, that would be a bad day. Be a really, really bad day. There's a lot of rumors that they have a lot of interest in him. I want to see if they even have the balls to move up that many. I want to see if they actually have the balls to move up and go get him. I want to see if they even have the balls to do it. I really do. Jane says we got to see how he thinks regardless. I think he makes the right choice. No, look, if they don't draft Bijan, I think they'll still – I'm not worried about them making the wrong pick. I'm kind of far from that, to be honest. I'm not even really worried about the wrong pick being picked. It's not even on my mind at all. Like, really, it's not, you know. Dre says, biggest thing I got about Bijan signs that Hurts can hand the ball off for those tough 3rd and short yards against tough defense, so it automatically keep Hurts. Yeah, that's the one thing that I think will help. Not only does is Bijan going to get attention, he's going to have a great offensive line and weapons around, but it's going to keep Hurts from getting hit a lot of games. So in the first year of Bijan, if he's drafted here, take advantage of your rotation. Keep Rashad Penny healthy all year. take advantage of this. That's what they did. Even in 17, they did that with the 3 running backs they had. Like, the rotation was great. You kept these guys healthy. You know what I mean? And you can keep Rashad Penny healthy all year with a Bijan move. You really can. Less hits, less snaps for him, but still, when he gets the ball, like, trust me, it's going to help. And then once you get to 24 next year, then you start, don't abuse Bijan this year and hand him and give him the ball a crap ton of times this year. Wait until 24 where it's just Gainwell and Bijan and work it out, man. And just start using him next year. Look, you take it like with that when they drafted when the Cowboys drafted Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Romo was the quarterback at the time, and then they switched to Dak Prescott. When they use Dak as a runner, when they don't really use him as a runner anymore. I feel like the Cowboys especially have drifted off from using Dak as a runner as much. When they used, look, at the end of the day, like, Ezekiel Elliott had a pretty good career, and still could play good in a rotation, but just as a rotational guy. But at the same time, like, they had a chance. They had a chance a lot of years. Ezekiel Elliott was a monster for a lot of years. They just couldn't make it. They just couldn't make it to the promised land with that play, It's almost unstoppable when you have a mobile quarterback with a good running back like that. It's almost, plus with an offensive line like that. It's a brick wall, dude. You can't stop an offense like that. It's tough to stop an offense like that on those read options, RPOs. It's tough. It's not easy. We got Cade with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, Joey, Jalen Hurts contract, best I've ever seen, dude. I've never felt so comfortable. Like, I saw that contract and I was like, and the cap hits, and I was like, man, I've never felt so worried. Like, how guys get contracts and you're just like, oh, that's a lot of money. You get all worried. But this, I just wasn't worried at all. I felt so good about it. I was just so relieved. I think the only time I was really nervous was because it wasn't done yet. That was like the only time I was really nervous about a contract like that. But nah, like, I literally had no issue. I feel so good about it. I'm so glad we have a guy locked up for the next 5 years. It's a great feeling, man. Dre Deal says Bijan would single-handedly kill tush push play. Won't even need it. Probably not. Probably not. It'll be unstoppable. The Eagles are going to do so much of that this year. It's going to be ridiculous. Big I don't know why. It's not that we don't like Kenny. It's not like we don't like Kenny Gainwell, but he's not. The Eagles are never going to re-sign him in a couple years, this year, next year. His contract is going to be up after next year? Not this year, next year. It's not that we don't like him. It's just he's not a 3-down back. He's not. He's good, but he's not that good. Like, I think he's very, 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 very good, solid. I think he's solid, but I don't think the Eagles like him that much as everyone thinks they do. I think they like him, but they don't think he's like some generational skill set they haven't, that they have in the building. They haven't had it in years. Like, I don't think it's that high of a running back that everyone thinks he is. I think he's a hard runner. I think he makes guys miss. I think he's great in the passing game. I just don't. I think he's more of a rotational guy. That's all. I'm not saying anything bad about him, really. Nothing wrong with him at all. I felt really good about him. But is it enough? Not really. Myram says Gibbs is being slept on. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Gibbs. Who knows? At the end of the day, the Eagles can do whatever they want. They might be showing all this Bijan Robinson stuff and saying maybe there's interest. But at the end of the day, what if they really do like Gibbs? They could like Gibbs a lot. They could secretly like Gibbs. They might not even bring him in on a pre-draft visit. They might secretly like him, and they talked to him at the combine. That was really it. I don't take the combine things too seriously, but he could say, "Hey, we have a lot of interest in you, but we're going to keep it on the DL." Who knows? You never know, dude. The draft there's a lot of things that happen during the draft. Lot of things. You never know what could happen. Gravy says, my sister's fiance's NFL scout doesn't like Bijan goes before 20. Too many running backs. Too many running backs out there like Henry, Cook, etc. that could be had. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you can't pass. I feel like going to a good team, you really can't pass up on it. I mean, I think that's where it goes. Like, I don't think you really pass up on this. I really don't. I swear, like, you just don't pass up on an opportunity like this. If we only had one first round pick, I wouldn't grab a running back. If we were a crappy team, with no offensive line, don't even have a quarterback yet, or even have a quarterback and don't have an offensive line, have so many pieces, and we're rebuilding, I wouldn't even make this move. But because the Eagles are so intact offensively, still, this is a passing league. You're trying to score touchdowns. You know what I mean? And obviously, when I say passing league, yeah, everybody's involved, not just the wide receivers, not just the tight ends, but you need a strong run game too. Wear those defenses down. And with a running back core like this, there's a lot of different things that could happen, you know? So we'll see. We got Dre Diesel with the super sticker, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for that super sticker, dude. That's awesome. I wish people use super stickers. I think Dre Diesel is the only one on the channel that uses super stickers. I do appreciate it. I would like to see other super stickers as well. There's a lot on there. They're pretty cool. I've never seen all of them in action. So thank you so much, Dre. Torville says it's better to go younger at running back. It's cheaper, and running backs have a short career span. Yeah, dude, I don't that does it. Yeah, I mean, I don't care about them having a short career span. Like this year, we were not going to be running Bijan into the ground. You know what I mean? Like we won't be running Bijan to the ground this year. Next year, yeah, maybe. This year, probably not. You know, it doesn't matter to me. Like at the end of the day, like I want him for this. I want him and Hurts to be here every single year together. You know, so we'll see. SJ says, Joey, you and Philly get it. No, I mean, I get the cons of it, but I just don't think there's a con with it. I really don't. People undervalue running back like, oh, don't draft the running back high. It doesn't matter. Let's draft a lesser talent. But look what a lesser talent's doing for us. You know how much more you could do with a higher talent at running back? You know how much more you could do with a higher talent? A lot of breakout runs this year, man. They draft Bijan. It's going to be a lot of breakout runs. Not only for him, but a lot of the running backs together because you're going to tire out these defenses. These defenses are going to be shot. They're dealing with these receivers, Jalen Hurts and his run design, plus these running backs, these different skill set and running backs that you have behind him. It's unstoppable, dude. It's almost unstoppable. Sorry, I had to do something really quick. And we're good. Take Gibbs at 30 instead of Bijan. We'll see. I don't know if they have interest in, and I don't think they have interest in Gibbs. They might not have interest. They might not. It's just Bijan is just really different. He's just different with his jump cuts, his vision. I think Gibbs is a better pass catcher. I think he's a better catcher. There's no doubt. A little bit. I think he's a little bit better than that, but I still think Bijan can do it. It's not just because of that reason. That's the only thing I can really think of. Really, that Gibbs could be better at him at just by a little bit. So we'll see. Warriors Sin 6 says, gone have to pay Devin White top linebacker money. Yeah, he says he might get that much, but he might not even get that much. He says, that he wants 18 to 20. Doesn't mean he's getting it. Probably not. Is there a team out there that might give it to him? Yeah, maybe. But do I think it's going to happen? No, probably not. I don't think so. Gary said if we draft Bijan, he's going to force Howie to get new linebackers because of practice. Oh, boy. Let's see here. We got a member chat from Jason Piro. What's going on, man? Member for 12 months. Says if we draft Bijan at 10, we are going to be a nightmare for opposing defenses. Pause. Yeah, I believe it, bro. I believe it. What's going to guarantee you production? What's going to guarantee you more production instantly? That's what I want to ask people. You know what I mean? What's going to guarantee you immediate production? Kalijah Cansey, Nolan Smith, Van Ness, getting an offensive lineman, getting Bijan in this running back core. I think Bijan's going to get you immediate production at the start, at the very start. So, Jeff says, who as the first player to get paid one or more than $1 million per year? What do you mean by that? I don't get what that means. I mean, every player, there's players on this team that's been paid over $1 million a year. Marcus Mariota's getting paid $5 million for this year. Boston Scott's getting paid $2 million this year. Slay's getting paid more. Obviously, Bradbury's getting paid $12 million, $13 million a year. I don't get what that means, though. I don't get what that means. Jay said Bijan needs 20 plus carries. Gibbs only needs 1 to take it to the house. Who says Bijan can't get it done, though? I don't get it. Why can't Bijan get that done? I don't want to hear shit about his 40 time. It don't matter. I don't want to hear crap about the 40 time. 40 time don't mean shit. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think both of them are really good running backs. I take nothing away from Gibbs. If the Eagles got Gibbs, I think this offense would be very dangerous with Gibbs because you could line Gibbs as a wide receiver. You could spread him out. You could do whatever you want with him. And open space with his vision, he's amazing. I have nothing against Gibbs. I don't get what that even means. I don't get how so Bijan Robinson can't take it to the house. Gibbs is the only guy who can do it. Bijan can't do it. I don't know, bro. We'll see, though. I'm telling you right now, if Bijan gets drafted to another team and he's a top 3 running back, I ain't going to say a damn word. Actually, no, I am going to say a lot when it happens. I will, actually. Kirsty, if we don't get Bijan, it won't be the end of the world, but if the Cowboys get Bijan and don't, then it will be. He says, Cansey doesn't help you. Bijan opens up chance to win Super Bowls about this year. I think, obviously, any running back, if you draft a running back with a high skill set, especially the best one in this draft, he's going to have immediate success because the offense around it is amazing. The offensive line is amazing. The quarterback's amazing. Everything's amazing. I think that's the best spot for him. Oh, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you that. I have no idea. Tori says, I think people don't want Bijan because he's more of a volume runner and needs a lot of carries to be effective. Yeah, but the thing is, like, people are just thinking about this year, which I can't fucking stand. Like, why are people just thinking about this year? Dude, it's not just about this year. It's about multiple years down the road. I'm not just talking about a running back. We need this year. No, I'm talking about concrete, consistent years. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about what our offense looks like next year. I'm thinking about, I get it. I get it. This year's important. I get it. The NFC is weak. The NFC East might be the best division, again, outside maybe the 49ers. I don't know, but we'll see. But I have a lot more than I'm talking more than this year. Mom says, I don't care who gets Bijan, just replace Hargrave. Dank says if he makes a move and gets a free lane, he's going to the house. Yeah, that's what I think. I think Bijan does the same thing. And he's tough to bring down. Jay says the one guy compared Bijan to Adrian Peterson. No, I don't think. I don't really even think of Adrian Peterson really, because Adrian Peterson was really good, but I mean he's got like his jump cut ability is just amazing. Like every time a guy gets in front of him, he fakes guys out, and sometimes it takes a bit for him to get upfield, because I mean he just gets it done. In the second level, he just gets it done really nicely. It's amazing the vision that he has. There are times where he will be very patient, and there will be times where he just he sees that open lane, he's going to go for it. Whether he's going to evade contact or he's going to give contact, because he'll give contact too if he has to. But he's real sneaky with his feet. He's got really good feet for a bigger back. And it's amazing. Once he has that, he gets into that second shift of speed when he has that open space, and it seems like no one can get him down. Passing game as well. Passing game is ridiculous with Bijan Robinson. If Jalen Hurts could throw to him in stride, yeah, it's going to be really dangerous. It's going to be very dangerous. Big Ass Bird said, how surprised would you be if Howie goes back to our roots to draft the lineman at 10? I wouldn't love it, but I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like I kind of would hate it a little bit, but at the same time, like I understand why they're doing it. If they're drafting, say they draft a guard at 10, it's the only reason is because they don't think Cam Jurgens is going to pan out as a guard this year, because then they're going to have to redshirt him. And then obviously when Kelsey retires, he goes to center. So it's not a bad move, obviously. It won't be a bad move. It's just not the move that I want. That's all. It's just as a fan, I want something more flashier than an offensive lineman. The offensive lineman's not a sexy pick at the end of the day. It's just, it's not, it's not something that we're like, oh my God, we get so excited about. People want the entertainment of a star or something at that pick. So I'm not going to necessarily love it, but I'm not going to hate it. I might hate it a little bit, but I'll know why they're doing it, So, I mean, we'll see. Judge the Bijan Hurts for at least the next 5 years or more. Yeah, maybe. Look, at the end of the day, like most of these running backs don't get re-signed. Like it is cheaper to put a tag on a running back. It will be cheaper to tag a running back, franchise tag a running back, than to give him a long-term extension. I'd rather tag a guy every year than sign him to a long-term deal. This way you're not locked into anything long-term, that you only have him for the year, and then you can have contract negotiations again at the end of the year. So I'm fine with that. Rio says long speed means big play. Don't have to play another down because he scored. Cake says, who do you think the Eagles will draft in the first round? I mean, I want Bijan at 10, man. If Carter's not there and Anderson aren't there and they don't move up and they just sit there, then I'm getting the third best player in the draft. Best player available. At 30, they can go offensive line. They can go get Torrance. They can get Skoronski. If Paris Johnson's there, they can go get him. There's a lot of different things they could do. I mean, I'd get Cansey. I'd get an edge rusher. I'd get Will McDonald. Tyree Wilson's there. I mean, there's so many guys. Like I get the defensive end or defensive tackle. I think they desperately need defensive ends. I think they desperately need a defensive tackle. I think they need both positions, because defensive end after this year, Barnett's gone and Graham's probably gone. You're down to Hassan Reddick with one more year left on his deal. 24 would be his last year with the Eagles. So you're going to be down that within 2 years, you're losing 3 defensive ends. They're probably going to need another defensive end. Seems like the Eagles really like that Northwestern defensive end, that Adebawore, that guy the Eagles really like. Tony Pauline doesn't really get a lot of stuff wrong. Tony Pauline said last year that the Eagles had a lot of interest in Cam Jurgens, and they drafted him in the second round. Tony Pauline this year says the Eagles behind the scenes love that Adebawore from Northwestern a lot. I think he's got really high ceiling. I mean, I don't think it's even high ceiling. I think he can literally be a powerhouse. I think he's better than Josh Sweat, no doubt. So we'll see. Matthew Munoz says, what do you think of Budda Baker's cost? It's a lot. I mean, it's you have to trade for him, so I don't know what he's going to cost draft compensation wise. But his cap hits are $16 million this year, $18 million next year. So yeah, the cap numbers are pretty big. But obviously, they could spread a lot of the money out, or maybe if the Cardinals want to pay off $5 million of it, or of next year's or something, and then work from there. I don't know. I think the 2 cap hits for the next 2 years are pretty big, so they'd have to extend him, maybe extend to another year, and then kind of spread it out a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe a 4-year deal where the 4th year is voided and they don't get any dead cap from it. There's a bunch of different things they could do with that contract. So I think they could do it. But what kind of worries me about a trade for Budda is it's the draft compensation that we have to give up, because obviously Budda Baker's a good player. He's a really good player. You're not drafting a guy with one more year left and he's like a role playing, defensive guy, or, this guy's a good player. This guy, you plug him in, man. Yeah, it's a big move. It's a really big move. Jason says, if Carter Bijan are there at 10, do you still take Bijan? Unfortunately, I don't know. What I would do is, look, if it was up to me, I'd probably take Carter just because he's there, and that's tough for me. If the Eagles have Carter and Bijan at 10, I think they take Carter. I think taking Carter is obviously, I think that's what you really need. I think as obviously Carter is the better player available than Bijan, from what the Eagles really need badly. But I think if it's up to the Eagles, I think they would pick Carter at 10 if Bijan and Carter were there. So me, it would be hard for me to do it, but it probably would be Carter. As much as I want Bijan to be tough, and trust me, like, they're not going to move up with that second first round pick at 30 to go get Bijan. I doubt it. Which everyone says that. Obviously, if they got Carter and Bijan, holy crap, that'd be a great draft. But I think whatever they do, we'll be happy with it. Easy says, if we don't take Bijan, it's reach. Nobody other than Anderson or Robinson we're taking at 10. If we don't take Bijan, it's a reach. Nobody other than Anderson or we're taking at 10. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm either waiting at 10 to see if Carter falls. Obviously, Will Anderson's not going to be there. He ain't going to be there at 6, 7. He won't be there. It's just not going to happen. Obviously, if Carter's gone, then I think if they don't want Bijan, I think they trade back. Because we don't need offensive line. We have another first-round pick next year's draft unless 10 luxury. Yeah, but the problem is, like, after this year, you're gonna be needing a guard and a tackle. Not tackle as much. Lane will play for the next 2 years, but we have no depth. We have no depth right now. And I don't want to draft a lineman at 10 this year just because the Eagles don't have to overreach for an offensive lineman at 10, even a good one. If they see somebody special, and trust me, if you don't trust Jeff Stoutland by now and how he looks at talent, trust me, whoever they get, whether it's second to third round, I think they can get. I don't think they have to get an offensive lineman at 10 and reach so high for one. Okay, the Eagles really don't have a hole in the offensive line, but they need depth. So get technically a lesser talent or a lesser talent on the draft board, but could build them up this year and go into next year, depending on what they're doing. If Kelsey retires and Jurgens goes to center, and Lane Johnson's already talked about, only playing for 2 more years. So they kind of need a guard and a tackle. But I don't think they need to reach that far up for a guard this year. I don't. I think it's, you know what I mean? It won't. It'll only be a waste if they don't use him. But I think if they draft a guard at 10, you have to play him. There's no way that you got to do it. You got to do it. You know? But they've been looking at a lot of different guys, a lot of different offensive linemen. I think between the first 3 picks, I think 2 offensive players are getting drafted. 2 offensive players are getting drafted the first 3 picks. That's what I think. That's just me. At the end of the day. But we have 123 people in the chat. I'm not going too long today. I want to do a quick stream tonight. I know I haven't streamed in a bit. Obviously next week we'll be honing. We're going to do some streams next week. We'll do a couple streams next week. I'm not going to go crazy next week because Friday, Saturday, the 27th, whatever it is, the draft's next weekend, and I'm going to be like streaming for, we're going to be streaming for a while, for 3 days. So, a lot of stuff. I'm going to get my energy up beginning of the week, not stream as much, just because it's going to be a lot of streams at the end of the week next week. So, if you guys haven't liked the stream, please like the stream. Please subscribe to the channel. Much appreciated. Check out the videos. We put out the videos on the new wide receiver today, on ZACCHAEUS. And we have some other news. We have the Jalen Hurts video talking about the cap hits and all that great stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now. So we'll have more content out tomorrow, or probably by tomorrow night, most likely. Because really, I put out 2 videos really today, or yesterday, I should say, because it's technically 1 o'clock, 1:36 in the morning right now. But yeah, that's really it. That's really it. So I'll go for another minute or 2, but we'll go over another few questions, but that's really it for the night. I don't want to go too crazy tonight. Because I'm going to take a shower, chill out. I haven't stopped all day today, but I was kind of amped up a little bit because I want to talk about some of the moves that have happened. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been awesome. It's been kind of crazy. If you guys haven't followed me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. Follow the Discord if you guys haven't followed the Discord either. Do appreciate it so much. Let me actually put the Discord link in there. For the guys that don't know about Discord, or I have a Discord, and we talk Eagles every day in there, and it's a lot of fun. I have 2 guys running that for me, so let me put that Discord link in there. Join up. There it is. Move down a little bit. Dang says, Adabari is Nigerian. You know how good they can be. DK Metcalf, anyone? Yeah, tie-in 2 would be interesting as well. That'd be interesting. I like Jack Stahl and Calcaterra. Tyree Jackson's more of a project, and he gets injured way too much. Calcaterra, I've really liked a lot because I think his blocking is a lot better. I think he's more of the yak yard type tight end. I think he's our fastest tight end. But hey, you know what? I wouldn't mind. We got look into that position a little bit for the future. So we'll see. So yeah, other than that, that's it. We have some surprises. We have some new merch coming real soon. We've just started due to digital printing. Has been doing me and Philly's merch. Does Philly's merch. He has decided to offer me some to do some merch with him as well. So we're gonna have actually a new shirt coming out, and I think you guys are gonna like it. I have another shirt design I have in the making for the next couple weeks. So the store for the channel, or no more Teespring, screw Teespring. I'm tired of it. I never really cared too much for it because I couldn't do much on it, So I got somebody doing some really good work for me, and yeah, we'll have some merch out soon, really soon. So yeah, other than that, guys, pretty much it. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We'll have more stuff out tomorrow. Like I said, next week, we're not going to be streaming as much. We'll stream like maybe once next week or twice. Might not even be twice, because I need as much strength and energy. I'm not going to stream like crazy next week just because, the draft, we're going to be streaming like 13 to 15 hours for 3 days. And, it's going to be a lot. So we're going to have fun, and we're going to see if some things do come true and see what the Eagles do. So It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys on the next one. SHAKESQUAD follows up. Peace out, guys. Peace.